Your 15 years here are over, the new CFO said, smiling like he'd just pulled off a coup. His suit was still too crisp, his voice too rehearsed. I didn't argue. I just wished him luck with the quarterly reports. Because luck was all he'd have left. I wasn't hired to play politics. I was hired to build. 15 years ago, when the company was nothing more than cheap furniture, borrowed credit, and a dream barely surviving, they found me. A kid who spoke in models, forecasts, and numbers that breathed like organisms. I gave their chaos structure. I built the financial architecture brick by brick, turning broken ledgers into a living system. And the system delivered. Growth curves, forecasts, expansions. The company became its numbers, and the numbers were mine. The board shook my hand after every profitable quarter. The old CEO called me his anchor. For years, I believed that meant security, but anchors can also drown you. It started small, a locked door where I used to walk freely, a strategy meeting where my name was left off the invite, forecast models altered without my knowledge. At first, I thought it was oversight, until I saw the signatures on the updated reports. Not mine, his, the new CFO. I studied the edits. Smoother curves, rosier predictions. Too perfect. Numbers designed to charm a boardroom, not reflect reality. Fiction dressed up as strategy. I knew then this wasn't incompetence. This was a rewrite. And I was the obstacle to erase. I didn't rage, I didn't plead. I went quiet. I watched him maneuver, replacing my reports with his optimism, whispering into the CEO's ear about modernization and new leadership. I saw the board nod along, eager for bigger promises, faster wins. Let him think he was winning. Let him believe he had pushed me out. Meanwhile, I tightened my grip on the one thing he didn't understand, the backbone of the entire system. The forecasting models weren't just spreadsheets. They were living networks, coded, encrypted, laced with keys only I knew. 15 years of refinement, 15 years of loyalty baked into every formula. They could take my office. They could cut my title. But they couldn't take what I built. My revenge wasn't destruction. It was revelation. I waited until after they released me. HR walked me out with a severance envelope, carefully worded NDAs, their smug little victory. I signed everything, smiled for the cameras, gave them no reason to suspect. But the system remained mine. And I'd written safeguards into its DNA long before the new CFO learned how to spell variance. The models were designed to reject false data. When tampered with, they defaulted to a single response: access denied, flagged under my name. All I had to do was step aside, let him feed his lies into the machine, and wait. It happened faster than I expected. The next morning, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I answered. It was the CEO himself. His voice, usually silk, was frayed, almost breaking. "The board is waiting," he said. "We're on the call and the quarterly forecast won't load. All it says is your name and access denied. Explain." I could hear them in the background. Raised voices, panic, investors demanding answers. The silence of money growing restless. I leaned back in my chair, the severance envelope unopened on my desk. I could have explained. I could have saved them. Instead, I said, calmly, "Perhaps your new CFO can walk you through it." The line went dead. By the end of the week, the fallout was everywhere. Investors furious. Projections exposed as fiction. The CFO who replaced me? Gone. Dismissed. His career torched before it ever began. The CEO tried to call again, softer this time, his pride cracked. Apologies, offers, desperate talk of consulting opportunities. I let the phone ring. I wasn't interested in returning. Revenge wasn't about reclaiming a seat at their table. It was about showing them who really owned the foundation. They thought they could erase me, but you can't erase the architect from his own blueprint. I walked away lighter. 15 years reduced to a clean severance envelope and a name echoing through their systems like a ghost they couldn't exorcise. They gave me nothing. I left them everything. Locked. And every time they try to run the numbers, they'll see the same two words that ended them. Access denied.